Good morning, everyone. So today is our lesson 7, and we are going to start with the text typography inside the Photoshop and see how the text works in Photoshop. Apart from that, we will also see how we can do alignment inside the Photoshop. That alignment can be applied on the objects that are images or shapes or anything else, and also we will see how we can use that alignment on the text. There are two type of different alignments. There are text based alignment and there are object based alignment. So both of the alignment we will learn in this chapter also. So to create a text, I will create first of all an empty document window. So I will just press here on the create button. And then I just want to create my own. Let's see if we have something here which is more suitable for our text. I need something a little bigger. So I think it's better to create our own here. So I will do a 1000 by 1000 here. And I will just name it text practice. So we have this 1000 by 1000 pixels file and I named it text practice. So once we will save it, it will save with this name. Now the text tool here is right under this pen tool. We will work on the pen tool as well in this class, but first we will go through the text. Now, if you keep the text tool pressed, you will get a more different option here. The first one is the by default selected, which is the horizontal type tool. Now, type tool over here is basically referred to the text tool. Type by when you type something, that's why it is called type tool. So text is also referred as type tool, text tool, same thing. And if you want to write something, you just select this. Once it is selected, and simple, what you need to do is that to write a heading, if you're writing a heading, okay, you have to choose the color that you want. So I will choose the default color by clicking on this button here. So this is what this will do is that this will create basically a sort of a black and white like color here. I'll just click here, so it will become black and white. And we have black and white color here. So if I will type anything, that will be in the black and white color. So I'll just type it here by just pressing, just like clicking one time. When you click one time on the screen, just once like this, you will get a text which is known as which is the basically a generate like a automatic generated text. And this is a lorem ipsum, which is like a you can say fake text like fake generated text, which is not a language itself. It's just like a something that looks like a language. So this is just to give you an idea how the text will look like. So I will just type, I will just click it here, and then I will go here. I don't know why my mouse is acting weird right now. Okay. Now, once the text is there, I can move it anywhere I want. Okay. And whatever I want to do, I can do with this text. So that's one thing I have with the text right now. Now, I can double click the text here to rename it or to like to change it. Basically, right now it says lorem ipsum, so I can rewrite my own heading here. For example, text in Photoshop. And you will notice that it's just quickly as like when I double click it here, it allowed me to change the text. Now, this text is basically kind of in a like in a current editable format, so I can write whatever I want. But once I am uh, like more like you can say like kind of satisfied with it, if I want to make this text as my uh like final text, or I want to commit with these changes, I have two options here. Okay, and that is basically, if you will see on the top, there is a check mark. Okay, and there is a like a cross sign here. So let me a little bit here on the screen. There's one issue here with my mouse. I don't know why. I think it's because of the magnifying glass. Let me close this. Now it's fine. Okay, so I think I have to close this. Some reason give me problem. Okay. Yeah. So here I have this check mark and I have this cross. Now check mark means if you commit like the settings, if you want to keep this like text, so you will press this button. Like suppose if I will change it to something else, okay, like typography, and maybe this is like this is what I don't want. So instead of pressing the check mark, I will press the cross, so it will revert it back to what it was before. But if I am satisfied, then I'll just simply press this. Okay, this is what you will get when you are working with the text here. Now this is a heading, and you know how we created. We just took the text tool and we just pressed like once we clicked on this screen and we got the text just like this one. Okay, and every time you write a text, it will give you automatically a new layer for that. So I don't want this text, so I can delete this one. So this is how you can write a heading. Now what if you want to write a body text? To write a body text, the method will be a little different. You can take a text tool from here. Instead of pressing once or one time on the screen, you will click on the screen and you will drag the whole thing just like this, the way I'm dragging right now, and it will start creating a marquee tool, just like it works with a like the marquee tool that we have used before. So once I'm satisfied, this whole box will become like a text box, like a body text, and it will place the lorem ipsum text inside it. Okay, and it's more like a paragraph. So you can change, once you have created that, you can change the size of it. You can increase the size of this box. It's not changing the size of the text, but it's changing the size of the box itself. Okay, once you're committed and once you more like decide that this is my final text, you just press this or this if you are not satisfied. So if I'm satisfied, I'll click it here. Now next time when I want to resize this, the box, so simple, what I need to do is that I'll just take my text tool, double click the text from here or from this window here, like a document window here. It will give me again this box, so I can resize this box again. Okay, so you can press the check mark again. But what happens if I will go to the edit, use the free transform, okay, or control T on my keyboard? If I will change with the control T or the free transform from the option, so it will not change the size of the box, but it will change the size of the text. Same goes with the heading. And once you're satisfied, you just press here. And again, if you want to go inside, you can go inside, change it, increase the size of the box. So you can do so many things in that way. Okay, so you can use the text box size changing to change the size of the text box and to change the size of the text, you can just simply use your Control T, which is the free transform. Now, text are adjustable inside the Photoshop. Now, how you adjust the text? Let's see. To adjust the text, you have to select the whole text. Then you have here this option on the top, which is the character and the paragraph panel. So if I click on it, it will give me a character panel, and next to it is the paragraph panel. So first, let's see what we have inside the character panel. Okay. Now, once we are inside the character panel, we have here the text of family name. We are using right now Arial. Now, suppose I don't want Arial, I want something else. Maybe I will choose here Calibri font. So I will go here and choose the Calibri. That's the font family I have chosen. Now, font style. Now, Calibri have light, italic, bold, and so many other things. But if you're working on a like a body text, so you try to keep it either like regular or light, okay, so that it is easily readable. But if you're working on a heading, so you can use italic, or sorry, you can use bold. But if you want to specify something or highlight something, then you can use italic. But bold is basically for anything that is a heading or something that you want to attract people towards it, because it makes the text more prominent. So body text is just like something that the person will read next after reading the heading. So it's not ideal to keep the body text bold. So usually we keep it regular or we keep it light. Okay. Regular is the most used like option, like style over here. Then we have the font size. Now here, this is the actual font size. The one that we changed from the edit and then the free transform, that was the whole as a box. So that box was changing the visual size, but not the actual font size. So here I can change the font size by going in here, using this drop down menu, or typing the value here, or going towards this T icon and clicking and dragging left to right. Okay, so that's how you can change the actual size of the font. Now next to it, we have leading. Now what is the leading? Leading is the space between the lines. Right now we have very close leading. So if we will reduce it, it will become more closer. But as closer you will make it, it will become unreadable. So it have to be a readable font, not too loose, just like this, or not too tight like that, just like that. So the best way to do is just go here and use auto. It will give you the best suitable leading here. Now, if you're still not satisfied, you can control it. Like suppose maybe a little bit like tighter you will make it. But you have to keep in mind, it have to be readable. The best thing, the best practice is that when you change the size, you will get the whole thing black. That means there is no gap. And sometimes when you increase a little bit, you will see white like space. So that white space shows the gap. So that gap should not be too much. If it is too much or if it is too less, that means there is like the text is not ideally readable. So what I actually do is that I reduce it till I get the gap, but that gap should be very minor, like a thin hairline sort of thing, like something like this. So this is what I actually do when I get something like thin hairline sort of gap. So I leave it there. Okay. Now that's what I will look at it here. Now next here we have is basically kerning. Now what is the kerning? Kerning is the space between two letters. And this is basically used inside the heading. So let's go to the heading that we have here. I will just double click on this layer, which is the heading layer. And if you will notice that that there is some good space between E and X, but there is a little loose space between T and E. So I want this sort of a space, like a very nice, like less space here, not a loose space right now. So I will go between T and E and use any value from the drop down or type my own value, or I will just click over here and drag mouse left to right. So as I'm doing, you can see that it is giving me the space. Okay. So something like this will be good. But at the same time, you can see X and T have very close space. So almost the T line here, it is kind of, uh, you can say, like merging inside the X, like top line here. So what I will do here is that I will just go and increase a little bit the like kerning. And now you can see there is a good space now. So this is how the kerning works, and you play with the kerning with the like on usually on the headings, not in the body text. Now another thing that we have here is called tracking, which can be worked to like for the body text and also for the heading. So I can select the whole heading, and here is the tracking. Now tracking is the space between the letters as a whole. Kerning is more like customized space between the letter that you choose, like between T or E or X or T or P or H or O, H or O. So between those, you can go to any text and increase or decrease it. But here, the one that we have is basically the tracking for the whole text as it is. So right now it is -60. If I will make it 0, so you will have a loose space. But if you will click and drag and start reducing it, so you will start looking, so you can start having that space. So maybe -40 is good. I will leave it till -40. Okay, that's it. And same, I will go to the body text. In the body text, it is -60. Now -60 is not a good tracking for a body text because it condensed the text so much, it decreases the space between each letters, letter so much that it makes it hard to read. So there shouldn't be anything very narrow, or there should be anything wider, so something in between. So what I will do in this case is that I will just go here, choose a very less value here, like suppose -5. Okay, -5 is good. Not too loose, not too tight. And that's all. Now, one more thing is that my text finishes at this spot. So there is a blank space here, which is not a good idea to have. So what I can do, I can take my text box. I'm still in the text like option here. So that means it will reduce not the text size, but the text box size. So I will reduce the text box size so it reaches here. This is how I will not have any space issues here. Okay. Now next here we have is the text vertical scale and text horizontal scale. This is also used sometimes for the headings, not for the body text. So let's go to the heading here. And let me move this so you can easily see. Now here, if you will notice that we have here text scale, okay, vertical scale, and then we have horizontal scale. So vertical scale is how much right now? 100%. And horizontal scale is how much? 100%. 100% means actual size and actual size. For both of them, it's actual size. Now, what if I increase it? Okay, just like this. So now it is 209%, and you can see the text looks stretched. Okay, so let's move it back to 100, or you can just press this cross. Okay, now I'll press this again here, and I will just go to the next one, which is this, and I will these. Oops. I've increased the horizontal scale, and you can see the scale is stretching again, but this time it is stretching horizontally. Now, this might work in some cases, but not in all cases. Okay. So I will keep it 100%. And it's not ideal to stretch your text. The text should go uniformly bigger or smaller. So always scale your text of height and width all together. Okay. Even if you are using a free transform tool, you don't scale it in this direction. Okay. Like, don't do it something like this. Otherwise, your text will look kind of ugly. And this is not and this is what we don't want. So whenever you change, always change it like uniformly. So if you're using a Photoshop like 2020 or 2021 version, it will allow you to change by default uniformly. But if you don't want to change uniformly, you can press shift on your keyboard, but that is not ideal. With the shift, you can resize it non-uniformly. But if you're using older version like 2019 and below, then you have to press shift key to change the size uniformly. Okay, so it's opposite in 2019 and below version, and it is like different in the 2020 and 2021 version. Now let's go and see what next we have here. Now the next thing we have here is the superscript. Okay, sorry, it is the baseline shift. Now what is a baseline shift? Now suppose I will write a text over here. Let me change the text. Okay, and I will write here first exercise, for example. Now the ST, I don't want it to be like this. I don't want to write the ST as it is, just like I have written the other text. ST is basically a like something to represent the first, or like, you know, ST, ND to represent first, second, and third. So usually it is smaller in size and placed over here in the text at the like at this stage. Okay, at this spot. So how to do that? You can select this, reduce the size of it, something like this, and later on you can go between 1 and S. You can also reduce the kerning if you want, so that becomes closer. Next, you will select ST and use the baseline shift. Now, what is the baseline shift? The line which is on the base of the text. Now, this baseline, I can shift it up or down. So if I will shift it up, so I will increase this baseline shift, and it will go on the top. It will start going on the top just like this. So it will read as this. So this is the correct way of writing the first, or you can say like a traditional way of writing first. But what if I'm writing something here, which is H2O? Okay, and H2O is a mathematical, oh sorry, a formula of the chemistry. Okay, so if I will go here and I want to convert this into a real chemistry formula, so I can take this 2, reduce the size of it. Okay, and this time the baseline shift, I will not move it up, but I will move it down to something like here, and press this check mark. So it will look like it's a formula. So this is what this baseline shift is used for. Okay. The next thing that we have here is basically the color of the font. So you can take your color. can change it to whatever color you want. Maybe I can make it blue color. So the font color will change, or gray color. So it's totally up to you. You can take any color and put it anywhere you want. Okay. And okay. Now let's go here and see all these pre-made styles here. And I will apply these on all the on the heading so you can clearly see what it is. The first one that we have here is the faux bold. Okay. Faux bold is basically like here, if I have selected the text here, it shows me the style. Okay, I can choose the bold from here. Now this is the actual bold. Some of the font do not have bold, okay, or do not have italic. Like suppose if I will take this one, Babus New font. If I go in the style, it have only regular. Okay, it do not have any sign of like type of bold or condensed or italic or anything. It just have regular. Now, if I have something this sort of a font, let me give it a little bit more space here. Okay, if I have something like this sort of a font, so what I can do to make it bold, because there is no bold inside here. So for that purposes, we have here faux bold. If I will click on this, it will make the font bolder. So this is an implied version of bold, not the actual version of bold. Something like you can say force bolding or fake bold. Okay. So I can do that from here. Next is the faux italic. Just like the faux bold, faux italic. Because this Babus New font does not have italic also. So what if I want to make the font italics? So I can use this. This is the force italic. It will force the font to become italic, like fake italics style. So if I click it, it will become italics, just like that. Okay. Now let's go to and take some other sort of a font here. Let's go to Calibri, and now you will see whatever fonts you will use will come on the top of the list for the shortcut. So I will choose this Calibri font. Now here in the Calibri font, I have these like this text. First letter is capital. All the others are small, more like letters. They are not capital letters. What if I want the whole thing to be capital? So the shortcut to do that is to use this like option, which is called all caps. So all caps, what it will do is that it will convert everything to capital letters. So if I will press this, all the text will become capital. Deselecting will keep it at regular, and then pressing this will make it all capital. Now, and in some cases, you might want to keep the small letter size, but you want them to be capital. Size you don't want to change, but you want them to be capital. So there is small caps. So if I will use the small caps, you will see they all will become capital, but the size will remain same. That's one more thing you can do here. Now, let's remove this ST here and write the ST regularly here. So if you remember, I changed this ST with this by reducing the size of the font. Okay, using the kerning to keep it more like next to the number one, and then I used the baseline shift to move it. Okay, so that's what I used the baseline shift here for the ST. Similarly, if we will go to the H2O, I did the same thing for the 2. I used the baseline shift down, but let's see. Let's make it like regular, both of them. Now, there is a shortcut to do that. Instead of making it smaller, than using kerning and then using the baseline shift to move it up or down, there is here Superscript and then subscript. Superscript, if I will select any text and press on the superscript, quickly it will change to that like superscript, just like this. This is called superscript. Now H2O, if I have this this 2, I can make it subscript. So if I click on this subscript button, it will move it down just like it is a formula. So a quick way to do this. Okay. Now sometimes you want underlines. So we have here underline option. So if you click on the underline, you can underline like the text. Okay. Or if you want to strike out the text, you can strike out the text just to show that this thing is cut off or cut out and you don't want to use that. Okay. Next, here we have standard like a kind of ligatures. Okay. So usually they are used for advanced like texting here. Okay. And if you have a scripting font for those purposes, so I don't have the script font or just like that. Then here we have swatches. This is all like swashes. This is also for scripting font. So at this part I don't have it, so I will keep it as it is. And here I have again the ordinals. Now what does the ordinals do? It actually do the same thing that it did it for this. So for example, if I select this one and choose the ordinal, like for the whole text like this, choose the ordinal here, it will convert that. I think you have to, it have to be one line just like this. Then select the whole thing and it should work. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, okay. So I have to give a space and then I have to select and then choose this one. Oh, still it's not working. So I don't know what's the case here. I think because I changed it, that's why it's not working. But basically, it like what it do is that it automatically calculates what is the like subscript or like superscript, and it changes. So you can see that it's written number 1 here. Now next here is the fractions. Okay. So for example, if I have a mathematical formula over here, like if I'm writing a fraction here, just like this, and I want to convert this into actual fraction, I can select it and use this. So it will become an actual fraction. Okay. Like if you're writing a mathematical calculations or something like that. Now, this is the whole thing about the character. Now let's move to the paragraph. Now in the paragraph here, we have alignment. Now these alignment I was talking about are the text, like text alignment, specific text, specific alignment. Like if I will select the whole body text, I can move it in right now. It is inside. It is on the left alignment. I can keep it center alignment, so all the text will move into the center. I can do a right alignment. All the text move to the like right side. Or I have here justified. Okay, which is the last one. If I click on the justify, what it will do, it will keep it in the box form, just like it will take the whole size of my text box and keep it in a box form. But sometimes what happens when you are doing a box form, you don't want the last letter to be aligned. So here we have these 3 options here. This one is the justify last left. So justify, everything will be justified, but except for the last letter, that last will be justified left. Similarly, I can make it justified right. So last letter will be justified right side. And if I want it to be in the center, so I will choose this justified center. This is one way of doing it. But you have to be careful sometimes if you have these weird spaces. These are basically known as the bullet holes or the text holes here. They kind of look weird. So you have to avoid as much you can do that. So if you have less text, so it's ideal to keep it left aligned. Otherwise, what will happen? You will have that weird hole. But there is one more thing, is the jag space here. So you have to decide how much text you have, the size should be. So I can reduce the size here of my box. First, let's keep it justified left alignment, and I will try to reduce the my box size, text box size to the level. Okay, just like that. And maybe I can also reduce the font size also. So when I get less uh like holes, like bullet holes, okay, and there I will stop it. I can also work with this my leading, okay, and also I can work with this like tracking. Okay, so maybe I can get a little bit narrower, something like this. I have it, but it's not that much uh of a hole over here. Okay, so these are some statics about the text you have to keep in mind. Now here, this is about the text alignment, or like alignment movement. This is if I want to move the whole left margin. So what it will do, it will move to the whole to the right side. So if whatever I will type, it will leave this much space here. Same thing I can do on the right side also. So if I will reduce it or increase it, so it will reduce and increase this side. Okay. And I can work on the both at the same time. Okay. So I will keep them both 0. Next I have here is the indent first line, the first line. So if I will increase this first line, so it will only work on the first line. Okay. See that? It's only working on the first line, leaving everything as it is. And next I have here this one. This is basically for the selected line here. Okay, like suppose this is selected, and I can change this. This is sorry, this is, I have to click it here. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working here. I think I have to press enter somewhere, because this is for the paragraph. So suppose I will go here, enter. Okay. And I want to write something random. Okay. But it will make a weird sort of a random text, which will not look like a language. So better, instead of writing awkward text, what you can do is you can go to the type here. Okay. And you can use paste lorem ipsum. What it will do is that it will generate a fake text, and it will like put it here. So you will have another fake text option. Now, remember, I pressed enter over here to go to this line. So that means this is a new paragraph. Okay. So here, if I will use this or decrease or increase, so you can see it is increasing or decreasing the space before this paragraph. Okay. And let me make it 0. And this is the space after the paragraph. So I have to go to the last paragraph of the first, like last line of the first paragraph, and then choose this. So it will do the same thing, but it is reducing, increasing space after this paragraph, not before this paragraph. This is for the before, and this is for the after. So this is basically for the paragraph right now. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's reduce some of the text from here, because some of the texts are hidden underneath. So I don't want the whole thing to be. Okay. So much of the text here hidden underneath. Okay. Better. So I can copy this one and paste it. Press enter and paste it here. So I can have at least two paragraphs here. Now, if you have a 2 paragraphs, it's always better to give a little bit space between 2 paragraphs, so that shows that they both are different paragraphs. So I will just go here and increase the space a little bit. Okay. And on and press this. Okay. Now also notice there is a very less holes here. It's also justified, but less holes. So this is the ideal situation, and this is what actually we want. Okay. So this is all about the characters and the paragraphs over here. Now, the other thing that we have is the basically the text alignment, as I showed you here, actual text alignment, but there is one more alignment here. Let me hide the text for now, make a new layer and put some shapes here. Okay, like one here, and then I will duplicate this. To duplicate, you have to press Control J on your keyboard on the layer, so that layer will be duplicated. Control J again, and I will get the layer. Okay. Now, they are not vertically aligned. And let's do one thing. You can press Alt on your keyboard and move them also. When you press Alt and move them, a duplicate layer will be created. That's one other way of duplicating a layer. Okay. So they are not aligned. You can say neither horizontally nor vertically. So how we can align them? So first of all, let's align them vertically. So I will hide the ones that are for the horizontal alignment. I will only keep the one that are for the vertical alignment and select this. These all three layers. As soon as I was selected, you will see there is alignment option activated. Now there is three dots here. If I go to the three dots, it will say where you want to align. Align to selection or align to canvas. Now, first we will do align to canvas, then we will do align to selection. So I will choose align to canvas. Now, what is the canvas? Canvas is our document window. This is what the canvas is. Now, I want all of these three to be aligned centrally in the vertical direction. So here is the one. From here I can choose, or from here I can choose. It's the same thing. I will click it here, and they all will go in the center of the my canvas. If I press this, it will go all the way to the left of my canvas. If I will press this, it will go all the way right to the canvas. This is the vertical, and this is horizontal because we are not working on the horizontal right now. We are working on the vertical right now. Next here, we have distribution space. Now distribution space is here for vertical. Now you can notice that here we have a less space, here we have a less space, here we have more space, here we have even less space. So evenly, if you wanted to distribute them, you can just click on this button and they will be evenly distributed. Okay, so they are perfectly aligned now to the canvas. Now let's unhide this and this. Now this one and this one is not horizontally aligned, but their horizontal boss is which layer? This layer. Okay, so this guy here is perfectly aligned, but not these two. So what I will do here is that I will select all these three. Okay, and I will now use these options here. But before using these, because these are for what? These are for the horizontal alignment here. So I will go to these three dots. Now instead of canvas, what I will choose is selection. Why? Because this is my selection. This is my main person, and I want these two to get aligned with this. So how the selection works actually? The layer that you will select first becomes the selection, and the others that you select later on will become those layers which you want to align. So if I will go and choose the selection, so it is taking the selection this layer because this is the first one I selected. Now if I will go back here and choose this align vertical centers, so that means horizontally it will put this one down to its center, and this one down to its center. So if I will click it here, you will see that they are aligned together here. Okay. Now there is no correct space between these two. So what I will do here is that I will just go back here and use this, or from here the vertical is even space. If I click on it, so you can see that there is a vertical space aligned here. Okay, but now issues that I have some issue, like I have some like disalignment here. Okay, so to avoid that, I will just go back here, choose canvas again. Okay, and then I will like move this whole thing, okay, in a group by selecting these three and putting them in a group. Now they are in a group, so I can put them in the center. What if, let me undo it, what if there were like there was no group? So without any group, if I want to put them all in the center to canvas, if I press this button, they all will go in the center. Okay, but I don't want that. I want to go them on its own to the center, just like they three are like a like one single image. So to do that, I will make a group, and then I will take the whole group in the center, not all of them at like separately. I want them to go to the center. Now you can see they are perfectly aligned vertically and horizontally as well. So this is what you can do. But now if you don't want the group, you can just select the group, press the delete button. Don't choose the first option, choose the second option, because I want to delete the group only, not the contents. Contents are the objects that are inside the group. So I'll just use the group only. So this is how you align objects inside your text. Now, other thing what we can do here is that I will delete all these and I will use the same technique on my text. So I will take this text here, the first exercise, okay, and I will take the second one here. First of all, I will hide this one so I can put this wherever I want, just like this here. And then I will select this one, then select this one. And I will go here. Instead of canvas, I will choose the selection. Done. Now, if I will press this button, align left, so this bottom text will not get aligned to the canvas's left, but it will align to the left of the first exercise because this is our selection. So if I press it here, it will go to this side. Okay. But the thing is, they should be in the center of the image or like of the canvas. So I will go here and make it the canvas and then press this button. So they both will go in the center. But when they both will go in the center, the first exercise will go in the center too. And this is not what I want. I want the first exercise to be aligned to this side. So what I will do, this time I will make this bottom text as my selection. Then I will select the first exercise. And to select more than one layer, you have to press Control on your keyboard, or you want to select the whole layer. So select the first layer, then Shift, select the last layer. So anything between will be selected. Now I can go to these three dots. I will again make it selection. And this time when now if I click this, so this will be aligned here. Now there is an uneven space here. So what you can do is that, because it's not showing me uneven space because of the number of layers that we have here. Okay. So what I can do in this case is that I have to manually now shift it down or up. I can have a perfect space here. Okay. Otherwise I have to have more than one object here for the distribution purposes. Okay. Clear? So that's how you can align different objects inside your text. So you can align objects, you can align text as well. Now, this is how you can write a normal text. What if you want to write fancy sort of text? Okay, so I will take this first exercise, select it, and I don't want this to be a very fancy, like, a normal looking text. I want a fun looking text here. Let me change the text to something else. I will write something in capitals, and I will make the font uh, bold. Okay, a little bit bigger. Now here, to make it a little fun looking, I have here an option called warping. If I click on the warping, I have style, and there are numerous styles here. I have arc. It will convert my text into an arc. So I can have a horizontal arc or I can have a vertical arc. So it's up to you how you want it. So you can put the arc down here or you can put the arc up here, just like this. Okay. So it's totally up to you how you want. And here you have like a distortion. If you want a distortion in your text, then you can use this one. Okay. So it's totally up to you how you want to use this. Then you have here arc up. Okay. Or arc down. So if I will make it something like this, I can have this sort of an effect. And there are numerous. You can make a wave just like you want or anything you want. Okay. So this is basically how you can make your text look more fun, loving text or something like that. Okay. And this will look good if I will put it in the center instead of like putting on the left side or right side. And next, else what we can do is that let's go to the new and create a new one here. If you want to create a specific text here like a logo, so let's do one thing. I can write here a logo. Okay. And change the size of it. Now what I want here is that let's do one more thing. I will make a new layer. I will go to my shapes, take this custom shape. Okay, and here I have a lot of different shapes here. Or let's do one thing. Let's go to triangle here. Okay, double click the triangle or just single click it here so you can get this option. So when you single click with the shape on the screen, you will get this kind of an option here. So you can use any one of these options here to create something like this. So I will put one here and I can put another one here. And also I can rotate it down. Now I want a text to come in this form, like a circular form. So how I can write the text in a circular form? I can do one thing. I can take the text, okay, or regular text, use the warp tool and choose any sort of a warp here like this arc and make the arc look like this and then make it smaller. And put one here and then I can duplicate this layer and rotate this one and put it down. This way I can do it. But notice that how distorted it looks. It does not look like a circle. It's not giving me that look or feel that I'm like which usually these kind of like logos that are in a circular or radial form gives. Okay, so I'm not getting that vibe. So how I can do that? I want it in a radial form, like a circular form. So I need a circle shape. Okay. So I will take a circle here, but I don't want to create a circle just like this. What I need is the stroke of that circle, path of that circle. So instead of pixel or shape, I will choose path. I will go and choose path. I will make a new layer, or because path creates its own layer in the path option, so you don't have to worry about wherever you are putting it. So I will press shift key on my keyboard to create a circle. Without shift key, it will start making it a distorted shape. So with shift key, I'll get a very nice circle. Okay. And once it is created, I can, like with the shift key, I can make it smaller. And I will keep it in the center of these triangles, so I know that it is in the center. And once I'm done, I will just press my T option, text option. Now just notice here, just have a close look at the my text icon here. If I go over the path, notice how it changes from a normal like text icon. This is the normal text icon, the I-beam, the text beam with the marquee tool around it. So if I will move over the path, that marquee square becomes like a wavy square, like a wavy line. Sorry. Okay. So if I will move inside the path, so it will become circular. Outside, it is normal, square, wavy, circle. Okay. So let's check all of them and see how we get that. If I will go and click on the path with the wavy sort of a like a line here. So as soon I will click it, it will start typing it on the text just like this. Okay. So I can go anywhere. I can type the text and it will start giving me the text here. Now at the same time, it will give me some options here for like paragraph indentation here. I can indent here, just like moving it around, just like what we used before. And this is where I can get some tricks here. Okay. Now suppose I want to just create something like this. Okay. And I don't want this word XA starting from here because it is hiding my triangle. So I can go in between and I can use the kerning and increase the kerning. Okay. Same thing I can do, go here. Okay. Or here and increase the kerning here as well. So it will give me this sort of like text feeling. Okay. But if you want a balanced one, let's do one thing here. Instead of using the kerning here, I can use the kerning here at this spot. So this will be much more better. And some extra text I will delete from here so it will not look weird. Okay. And you can put some hyphens here or dots here so that it doesn't look weird or something like that. Okay. So, okay. So you got the idea. So this is how you can do that. You can type your own. So suppose I want to type your own. I want to write my own. Something like that. And then I can go here and just give some kerning here to make it balanced. Satisfied, I'll click it here. Now notice it gave me a new layer because it's a text, but still the paragraph, the path is there. So if I double click it here, I will be again in the path and you will notice there is this sort of a line, like a line here, like a small box here. which tells me from where the text is starting. So here I have path selection option. If I go in the path selection option, I can increase or decrease these lines, okay, just by clicking and moving them around. Okay. So I can move them around like this, any one of these starting or ending, and I can pull them inside or outside. So this is also what you can do with this. This is a little bit practice it needs from your path selection tool. Okay, so this is how you can write on the path. So let me go in the path and delete both of these paths. I don't want the paths anymore. Okay, so it will also delete the text. So it doesn't matter because we can create our next path here. This time I will choose polygon with the shift key. And let's delete these triangles and put this here. And also delete this one. I'll take the path. And now I want this to be hexagon, so I will go on the top and type it 6, so I can have 6 sides here. Oops. Okay, now it's giving me, because you have to change it like later on. Okay, now I cannot move the path because I'm on the layer. So to move the path, you have to select this path selection tool, and then you can, with that, you can move the path. Okay, so that's what you have. Now, last time we wrote over this. Whenever you go with the text on the top of the text itself, it gives you the wavy line. But as mentioned before, if you go inside it, you will get this circular sort of a text option. Now this is opposite than the one that we used before. So with this circular, if I will go in the center, I will just type it here, whatever I want to type. And notice what just happens. Okay. If I double click it here, let's change the size of this to a lot smaller and less leading. Okay, regular. And in the paragraph, I will make it justified, so it will be covered, the whole thing. And I will just go in the end, and I will go to type and paste lorem ipsum, so I can have more text. Now, what it do is that it will write the text inside the path, and it will take the path, the shape of that path. Okay, so once I am satisfied, if I will press this check mark, so I will be in that path. Now, if you will save this image, okay, or you will take this moving tool option, path over here, if you will select, if you go to the path and select the path is only to show inside the Photoshop. If you will save this file as a JPEG image or any other image, it will not save this outline, because path is just showing in the Photoshop. It doesn't show outside the Photoshop unless you convert this path into a outline or a border. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that if it is showing, because it's only showing inside the Photoshop. So if you click anywhere outside or deselect, it will not show. But just notice what a good thing it did. One thing I can do, I can go to the work path and delete this work path. So it doesn't annoy me anymore. Now it will not give me that. Okay, but don't delete this one, because it will delete your text also. So just notice, this is how you can do that. Okay, clearly you can do that. Now you can create your own paths. To create your own path, you have to be a little bit, you need a practice. You have to take this pen tool. So you have pen tool, freeform tool. So you can use anyone, or curvature pen tool. Others are a little bit advanced. So when we will move to the pen exercise, then you will learn more about it. But I'm just giving you a simple uh, way of doing this. So I will choose the curvature pen tool, because it doesn't need any sort of a practice. Okay, like it needs a practice, but not as advanced. But first, let me find an image that I can convert into a path. Okay, so I'll just go here. Okay, silhouette of a, let's see. Okay, so what I will do here is that I will go here and paste the image. I got this Yoda image. Okay, now let's make it a little smaller. I'll make a new layer to get a path, or I can do over this, doesn't matter. I'll take this curvature path, like curvature pen tool, and I'll select, click it here, and then keep on clicking on these options. It will start creating the path for me. And automatically it will be creating the curves and everything here. So you don't have to worry too much about it. And you have to go back to from where you started, and it will close the path like here. It closed the path for me. Now I don't want this image, so I will delete this image, but the path will stay there. So this is the Yoda like face path. Okay, so I can take the text, I can write over this, so it will become something like this. Okay, it is writing inside, so I can take my path selection tool, click on the text and move it outside. So it will write out of this. Other thing I can do, I can take my text, click it inside as well. First, I have to go to the path, select this path, the same path, go back here, and let's hide this text here. Now I can also write inside it, but you have to hide the other text so that it won't disturb you. I can type it inside here. So you can make the font a little bit smaller, because it's not reaching till here, because the text is too big to reach there. So you have to make it a little smaller there. Now I need a lot of text because this is not enough. So I can go here and type paste lorem ipsum, type paste lorem ipsum. So I can have this and then check mark. Okay, now I can go in the path. I don't need this work path anymore. I can delete that. Or if you want, you can keep it, because it will not harm you, because it will not save. I can turn on this one also. So I have this sort of a text shape. So you can create interesting text shape also with your custom path. Okay, so a very nice way of doing this. Now, the last thing, last but not the least, if you will keep this text press, you have a horizontal text type tool and you have vertical. So we were working on the vertical. So let's see, like we were working on the horizontal, sorry. Now let's see vertical. So if I'll go to the vertical type tool and click on my screen and start typing something. Let's make the font bigger. Okay. So I'll go take the vertical and click it here. You can see my text cursor now is changed to something like this. Instead of like I, it looks like W. Okay. So if I will click anywhere, it will start writing the text. Okay. Or vertically. So this is for the vertical sort of language, like Japanese, if you're writing, or those languages that are from top to bottom. I think Japanese or Chinese. I don't know which they write it, but for those sort of languages, you can use this one. Also on the path, you can use this to get some interesting result. Okay, for example, if I will go here and choose this one and convert this into a vertical text, okay, so it will give me that vertical sort of a like feeling. uh, I have already selected, so it will not change, but later on you can do that too. So this is how you can do that. Let's delete this. Now there is one more thing. Let's open an image here. So I have this image, and one more thing I can do here is that I have masking also. Okay, so if I will go to horizontal masking and write a text here like A, for example, select it. This is, I'm writing with a masking tool, masking horizontal. So there is masking vertical, masking horizontal, and I can, once I'm ready, so you will see that I will have a marquee tool. So I can choose a marquee tool from here and move it anywhere I want. Then I can take the moving tool, and this time if I will move it, it will create a like cutout like this. So what I can do at this stage is that I can go to like I can make a duplicate layer. Okay, hide this one with the background, and I can go to the select and inverse. So it will select everything except for this A, and I can delete that. It will delete everything, but it will keep I was, and you can just deselect everything now. Okay, sorry, where is the deselect? Yeah. Okay, so now what it is, like did that, it just deleted in the form of the shape of the text that I chosen, but I cannot change the text anymore because it just creates a mask. So this, and you can also create mask with this. So this is one way of using these two options. Okay, but most of the time the one that you will be using is the horizontal type tool. So is there any question regarding what we have done today? Is everything clear? So you have the idea now how to work with the text and the typography in the Photoshop. Is everything clear? Any question or anything that you want to ask me? Is everything clear here? Okay, so I'll like take off, or like I will sign off from the live stream here and we'll move to the Blackboard. So I'll end the live stream and let's move to the Blackboard.